The Premier League, of course, returns this weekend as well. Arsenal currently sitting level on points with Spurs, and we haven't talked about their goalkeeping situation for a couple of hours. So let's address that, shall we? As we've heard from Ramsdale, I think I'm right in saying for the first time since he's been dropped, obviously, for Raya, and he says, there's days when I come in and I'm down because of the situation, and Raya picks me up. And for whatever reason, there might be a day where he's down. And even though I'm suffering and hurting for not playing, I have to stand up and be able to push him. He then continues, if we didn't get on, it wouldn't work. We work professionally really well together. For me, I need to get back into my club team to keep getting picked for England. It's a worry. It's the first time I've found myself in this situation. Frank Leboeuf is back with us. He's got to leave, hasn't he, Craig?
Do you know when you were sitting looking through the calendar?
Was I?
Yeah. And you went, international break, I'm disappearing out of here. Right?
Yes, yeah.
We talked about this extensively.
Yeah, I know you did.
Right.
Yeah.
So don't think you can waltz back in here, steering the ship.
Wait, what do you mean? These quotes are today. I haven't just dragged these out from a couple of weeks ago.
Read that quote again.
The quote says, I need to leave, doesn't it?
Switched off during it.
He needs to leave.
Well, if he wants to...
Yeah.
Well, if he wants to play.
Yeah.
Because he's got a manager who's steadfast in his decision with David Raya at the moment. And there's no point sitting on the bench applauding the goalkeeper that's playing. Listen, I'm not criticising him for it, but there's no point in doing that. He is a goalkeeper good enough to be... I mean, he's probably not going to oust Alisson. He's not going to oust Ederson.
Maybe Pope?
No, I think Pope's a solid goalkeeper.
Right.
I think, you know, I think Chelsea would be a shout, but it's probably not going to happen. They've signed Robert Sanchez, who was number 2 at Brighton. I've talked about that before in the end. But yeah, I mean, his 12 months last year were just too good to let that go down the drain. But I don't know how he's going to do it. How is the manager going to let him go? The manager wants 2 goalkeepers.
He can't keep this up, what he's doing now. Because from the very beginning, when we found out that Raya was coming, he's been such a trooper for his manager and Arsenal.
Right.
Saying the right things, doing all the right things. That can't last too much longer. Because at the end of the day, he's a competitor, he wants to play, and something's going to blow. Something will blow. And he absolutely 100% has to get out.
It's one thing.
You know, it's one thing when you're younger, right, and you're trying to get in a team, and you reach a stage and you feel as though you should be playing. Yeah. You understand that you need to make it known to the manager that you think you should be playing, but you can't go throwing your dummy at the pram and stuff.
Yeah, because you haven't got that experience.
Because you don't have that standing yet,
right,
as a player. But when you've been in the position he's been in, when you've performed for your team and your manager the way he has, and all of a sudden you get dropped on your backside for apparently no real reason, as I said, so far he said the right things, that's going to blow. Absolutely. And he needs to get himself out of there.
I think if I'd have played the way he did last year, and I know there'll be some people, there are some people who come and say, well, he made a mistake in that game, he made a bit... He's a goalkeeper. Make a mistake. Players make mistakes every game. Right? He had some huge moments last year, huge moments that helped take them to the summit of the Premier League for 80% of the season. It wasn't his fault it crumbled in front. It wasn't his fault William Saliba got injured in Portugal against Sporting in the Europa League, and that sort of scuppered the back line. That wasn't Ramsdale's fault. And I think if I'd have known, and he obviously knew that this Raya thing was in the pipeline, I think I might have been inclined to go into Arteta and say, this is a problem. Yeah. I ain't taking this line down. There's a transfer request coming in if you're signing Raya, because I've played really well for you and I'm not going to sit and take this. And I think I would have been inclined to hit the ball straight back in his court. And if he then said, well, fine, I'm going to go ahead anyway, I said, well, this is a problem. But at the moment, as Stevie said, he's been a real trooper, but that can't last.
You both are on tomorrow. So I'll get your predictions for Chelsea-Arsenal then, if you don't mind.
Yeah, 1-0.
Frank, you don't spoil it for everyone.
I never told you who. Steady. Steady.
Frank Leboeuf is with us. Frank, you're not here tomorrow. Chelsea-Arsenal, eh?
Well, if Chelsea can manage to score goals or keep on scoring goals like they did the last 3 games, there is a chance that that they can do something. Right now, I think defensively in the middle of the park, they can compete with Arsenal, and I think it's only on the front line that the Gunners are better. I would be happy with the draw, but I think a win from Chelsea can be a very good surprise and a good sign that Chelsea is going to get better. So I would say a 2-1 for Chelsea. Can I say something about Ramsdale, please? I really think that's complete. I'm sorry, but I think it's completely unfair. I mean, I think if Arsenal did very well last season, remember when he signed and everybody was laughing because every club that he signed before Arsenal were relegated the season after. He proved during that season that it was very important for the team, for the squad. His behavior, his professionalism, his performances, for me, they were as good as so many others, like Saliba, Odegaard, Xhaka, Saka, and some others. And I think he proved that he deserved to be the #1. I don't like this kind of competition you bring when you don't need to. It's kind of upset me in a way that the guy worked so hard. Now his award is to be kicked out because the coach thinks that Raya is better than him, which is not obvious for me. And talking about the mistake that he made, Ederson and Alisson made mistakes last season. They're still there. And I think Ramsdale was a key to the Gunners' success last season. So again, I think it's very unfair.